Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, everyone. Here's a bit of controversy. Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Paul. This is Milo Studios. I'm cordially inviting you into my very working class workshop. So I use the odd bit of bad language. If you're offended by naughty words, you're in the wrong place and you can move on. But there's your warning. You have been warned. So on to the story, because it's not clickbait. Whilst doing this, let me just be clear that opinions change. My opinions change. If you're watching this video months after I made it, years after I made it, hello future you, hopefully I'm still alive and kicking. Currently, I'm building my own version, an effigy of the Red Special, which incidentally shares a silhouette and nothing else. That's kind of how I like to build my guitars. I like the shapes, but I don't like to take the piss. There is a company that does take the piss. I don't care either way, but obviously we're talking about Harley Benton. So if you Google something, I was building a Red Special, I Googled it a few times, Google decided you need to look at a million variations of the Red Special and see all the forums and everything else, and it gets a bit overwhelming. But Toman did come up, and Harley Benton's version of the Red Special appeared, and I thought, oh, that's quite reasonable. I can't remember how much it is, I'll put it here. They got in trouble for their first version, the something 70 version, because it was too close to the original. So they've had to change it. I don't know anything about the original one. All I know about is this one, and I thought, I'll just give it a go. Let's have a punt, let's have a kick into the ethos. All the time I've been doing these videos, my opinion changes. My opinion is currently, you never know what to expect with a guitar. For £200 or £2,000, normally you've got to expect to take it to a tech if you want it perfect, and if you're not willing to do the work yourself. I think that's a fairly reasonable conclusion. Banter starts at 0, by the way. We're doing tete-a-tete here. If you're going to put in the timestamp, our guitar's at 3:05, go fuck yourself. I like to have a waffle. I unwrapped this at home. I had a look. I played it. I haven't set it up. I haven't adjusted anything. And how I will report this is I will say it put a smile on my face. That's a blinding start, innit? So, and it wasn't too bad. Not perfect, I don't think, didn't look too closely. But anyway, this is the Harley Benton, in the Spanish accent, which is customary, the Harley Benton Red Special. You can see I've scratched it up playing it, playing some B minor pentatonic, because that's my limits. It looks a hell of a lot like the original. It's super light. I really, really like this guitar, and I want it to be great. 6.99 lubs, under £7. Proper winner, proper winner. I mean, it's got a pretty funky 2-point trem in it, which I don't mind. Looks like Terminator's forehead. We like them. The frets are in good nick. They're not sharp at all. It's fit and finish on this. I'm very, very surprised. The velute's very nice, almost as nice as mine. Yeah, really cool. I like the heel as well, angled heel thing. So, I mean, every Les Paul could do with looking at that fucking little design. That is marvellous. Phil McKnight would handshake that until it creamed itself. Oh, that's absolutely delicious. Fucking delicious, as they say, in the working class environment for which I was born. I'm common as fuck, let's be honest. And I make no apologies. You can never apologise on the internet. It will lead to your demise. I've got a waggle stick. It's very plain. It's a screw-in one. Is that a markdown? I think it is. There's posher waggle sticks, isn't there? But as you know, I don't really give a fuck about a waggle stick myself. It's not something I even plug in. What I have found, a bit of PTFE tape sorts them out. Even one tiny wind of electrical tape sorts them out. And there, obviously, we've got Alan. He's not awake yet. He's having a nosh. Good old Alan. That's all you get in the box from Toman. So all in all, first impressions, very well put together guitar. I had a scratchy volume pot when I first plugged it in, but that seems to have gone away. Secretly what we hope all our fucking teenage kids are going to do eventually. Don't know much about the pickups. I'll do a bit of Googling now and I'll put it up on the screen. They sound very juicy. I think the original was too close to Mr. May's switching techniques. They sounded lovely. Brilliant. You know me, I don't agree with... I'm not one for fucking spaffing over expensive boutique pickups. Most of it is largely bullshittery. The nut is not too bad. So all in all, I've not adjusted it. Let's have a little look at how it came set because it felt pretty good. Now I'm going to take all my readings ergonomically for me so that, because I'm filming and I don't want to be holding things awkwardly, you know, it's awful. It'd be like watching me struggle in the bedroom. It's a terrible thought. This is how it has come set up. I'm going to take some preliminary measurements. Let's see how good it was from the factory. I bought this anonymously through a different name. I always do. It doesn't come to my house. No one knew I was buying it. Harley Benton, don't know anything about this. So the nut is cut to 0.7 across the board, within a few hundred 6/16ths of a fucking 32th, wherever you're from in the world. Don't take the piss out of imperial measurements, Paul, but let's be honest, they are fucking stupid. Cut to 0.7 millimeters. That's what I call the safety cut. It's a little bit high, really. You can press too hard on the first fret and knock a bugger out of tune. So that's something we can improve. We can adjust the nut. Here's a tip for you. Here's a set of Hosco nut files. I think they're 70 quid. If you've got 20 guitars at home, and a lot of you nut jobs have, no pun intended, but somehow nut files are too expensive, 70 quid for a thing that only does one job. Well, for me, it's one of the first things I would buy, especially if I was one of you lot that's got more guitars than fucking fingers, because that improves the playability of your guitar massively. Well, how do I say it? When it comes to doing fretwork and setting up things really accurately and consistently and properly, lots of luthiers have got different techniques. They've all got different ways. I've met quite a few now, and they're all fucking weird. I'm weird. That's fine. You just got to accept it. That's amazing. 70 quid. Crimson and Stu Mac do it. And yes, you can do it to measure the action at the 12th. But you have to have a phenomenally good quality one so that it doesn't affect measurements. Okay? Double check that. And I've asked around people whose opinion I care about. That's an amazing bit of kit. And nut files. So 140 quid. The price of one of your cheap strats that you bought, which is shit. Sell it, buy those. That's my recommendation. There's no cheap way around it. There are some cheap options for other stuff, but we'll get into that. So the nut needs adjusting. Decent, not straight edge. Crimson's my favourite. Don't know what the scale is. I haven't even looked. Right, so it's come to me like a banana. Woo! Fuck me. That neck is very, very bent. So I'm going to straighten it out so that we can have a little look and see what we're dealing with here. Let's have a little look at what the action is at the 12th. 2 mil, 2 mil. So I've got lots of relief and I'm 2 mil across the board. Let's see what happens to that action when I straighten the neck out, because anyone can straighten a neck out. They give you the fucking tool to do it in the box. I've left a Nat's codpiece, daylight under the ruler, the smallest amount. If you flatten your neck and then you can't see anything, just let off a little bit, just let a little bit of light through. You don't have to be any more specific than that for your needs. You can dick around at home and do whatever you want. If you're from another place, dick around means adjust willy-nilly. That probably makes even less sense, but that's fine. I like that. I like to leave people with a bit of confusion. Now I've adjusted that neck out, let's have a little look at the action at the 12th. 1.4. Yes! The champion measurement. And we should have 1.4 here as well. 1.55. This thing, I've almost it's almost like it's been on my bench. So Harley Benton, that's only ever happened once before, and that's with a jet guitar that I've not yet put on the channel because I'm struggling to make the video engaging. Top marks. However, are the frets good enough to handle it? Let's have a little look. All I'm going to do is check for buzzy buzzersons. It's Monday morning, by the way. I like a Monday morning fluff piece. High E. High E! Doesn't like it at the first. So, at the minute, it's not liking that action. If you plug it in and you're going to be doing dirty things, it would probably just about muddle through, but doesn't like it at the first. Now let me give you a little bit of insight. I'm going to get out my nut files, which are supposed to be posher. I'm not sure they are at this point. They're a bit better. They're a bit longer, which apparently has its advantages. So I'm just going to whiz through. I'm going to knock this nut down to about 0.35. Across the board. Let's go aggressive, because why not? Right, I've cut my nut down. Here's a little place that you can get tripped up on this. That nut is like a Graphtec nut, very soft. The slots were cut very wide for the gauge of strings on here. So when I put my files in, sometimes you've almost got to clean a slot out before you get to the bottom. Not in this case. That was right on the bottom and very easy to go too far because the nut's actually a little bit soft. So it didn't take many strokes of the fucking Vickers thigh to get right down to business. Let's have a little look at the action now. Still 1.6 to 1.4. Lovely. I've got a 12-inch radius. My strings and my saddles are set to nowhere near a 12-inch radius. So that's a mark down. Something easy you can do yourself. We lay that on the strings, don't we? We just push it down gently. They should all move at the same time. It's not the exact science, but it's pretty damn fucking close. We shall use the Allens provided in the kit, which is very no frills. But what do you expect for 6p? Get down level. We know that our outer two strings are fine. Let's adjust everything else to match. Much better. The included Allen key. The included Allen key. Awful. Not a great bit of kit. Buy yourself a decent Allen key, folks. Right, let's have a little look at how that is playing. Got a bit of fret buzz at the first and second frets. Now, can we negate that? What I'm trying to do here is set this guitar up the best we can without doing anything to the frets. So you get a proper look at really how close you can get yours, because I know doing anything to adjust the height of a fret is enough to make people dump their load all over the kitchen floor. I know that. I wouldn't be comfortable giving that neck any more relief. Let's plug it into my shit box. That's not what it seems. This is my shit box. It's actually not a bad little bit of kit. Very good for testing guitars. Very good for very quiet practice. And really good if you're going to plug your headphones into it. Right, if I face that at me, how is that playing? I mean, it's not bad. I'm going to have a little look for a rocker. Let's see if we have got a really bad rocker on the fret. And we have. Hear that? It's always the second fret. I don't know what it is with guitar manufacturing. It's always the second fret. Can we solve that with a little tap down? We'll have to reduce a bit of tension off the strings. I've got no plan today. We're just doing it as I think it needs doing. I'm just going to give it the Billy Basic tap down. I mean, it's almost there. It's pretty close. I'm going to give the guitar one last chance. Right, so conclusions. I don't normally do it this way. Conclusions are, with about 6 taps of a hammer and a little bit of adjustment, we've got the guitar pretty much within the realms of what I would set a guitar up usually anyway. 1.6 to 1.4. Perhaps it would probably prefer maybe 1.8 to 1.6. If that's your comfort zone, that's fine. So I'm not going to mark this guitar down. Generally, there's lots of other things we could do. You could adjust your trem. We're going to check the intonation in a minute. There's lots of other things you can do, balancing up your pickups and all that sort of stuff. But all in all, for the price of this thing, I'd have to give it a good mark. I really would. There's nothing wrong with it at all. When it came with that 2mm action, it still played really nicely. So it's down to personal preference. Don't ever expect a guitar to come and then be perfect out the box. It does happen, but not very often. So if you want, and if you like a low action, you're going to have to adjust things and get it sorted. I do like this. This is more offset-y than my shape. I think that's what they've done there, look. They've made this a bit more of an offset shape to the standard one. I think I might prefer it. The forums will be going fucking insane. I'm going to take these strings off quickly and we're going to restring it with the Darios, but while I'm at it, I'm just going to buff up these frets and I'm going to have a proper look at them and just give them an extra tap down and see if I spot anything like really bad. I might look at the pots, but that's a lot of screws in it. Can I be bothered? Most likely not. Let's get the strings off. Imagine buying a car from the dealership and they say, yeah, there you go, sir, that's £15,000. All you've got to do now is take it to an independent mechanic and get the wheels aligned and just put some oil in the gearbox. You'd be like, fuck off, you fat wanker. In the guitar world, although we're dealing with much smaller budgets, so don't fucking wear your thumbs out on your keyboard, that is almost what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to buy a guitar and then take that guitar which is at a level, which you'd expect to be relatively good, which is this is, and then go away and make it perfect by either doing it yourself, adjusting things to how you like it, or taking it to a good tech. And I always recommend having a relationship with a tech in your area. I don't do tech work, but I recommend Sound Unlimited in Plymouth. Rich and the team he's got working there are very, very good at what they do, and that's always my recommendation. Little tip for you, when you're using your fertilizer, if you slip off your protector and it goes in the wrong hole, no pun intended, just use the sandpaper that you made the mark with and just do the whole fret and that'll polish out. You've only made a mark with that sandpaper, so don't get too worried. We're going to oil it in a sec anyway, and just, I mean, to be fair, you could do it all if you really want. It's not going to hurt anything. Right, I'm going to whip up with the 8000. I'm going to finish the board off with a bit of vintage discharge from Axe Wax. Highly recommended, very nice. Everything that Axe Wax makes smells so nice you think you can drink it, but you can't, all right? And I know some of you need that warning. You've got to put a warning on silica packets not to eat them, for fuck's sake. I don't know who's eating that shit. Enough people to warrant putting a warning on the packet. My kids can't have ate all of them.
One eternity later.
Right, I'm going to let that soak in. I'm going to go and have a coffee. We'll come back in a minute. When I've strung her up, I'll have it reset up. We'll have a little look at the intonation and then we'll go from there. It's the same every week, innit? There's no surprises. Might get me nipples out every now and again, but you'll have to have a bit of suspense attached to that one. You're in. You're in the video. Anyway, we're live, special wave. Just cutting in, everyone, because at the end of this video, I'm putting a link into Mr. Cassidy's video because he came down and filmed with me a few weeks ago. I'm out of breath, I'm walking uphill and I'm a bit fat and old. Make sure you watch that video straight away after. You can have a double dose of My Life Studios today. What a fucking treat. You can waste 40 minutes of your boss's time. Anyway, that's that. I'll link it at the end. It'll be in the description and I'll put it as a highlighted video. Ciao for now, special wave and all that for lockups. Bye, Mrs. Richards. That was, I muddled through that demo. Sorry, it's, yeah, my fingers have not been working very much recently. This guitar, despite all the fingerprints, which I will charge extra for, very, very good. Never perfect. None of them are. Stop expecting perfection. You've got to go and do a little bit of work yourself. Well, I've done a little bit of work, and actually, I really like the offset shape. It's a great little instrument. It's really cool. The Red Special is something that I was never expecting to have a little place in my art. I would have said, traditionally, that is a fucking ugly guitar. But the straight string pull, I'm proper converted. So I hope I'll get a little bit of love from the Red Special community. But it's really, really nice. Great guitar, great sounding pickups. Harley Benton have made a beast here, really. The pickups were pretty much there. It was fine out of the box. I've got to give it a good review. I gave it some love. The listing's live for this. It is 15, including postage, it is £15 more than what it would cost you from Thomann. However, it's had the time on the bench. It's been set up. It's got brand new D'Addario strings, and I'll also throw in another set of D'Addarios as well. So you get 30 quid's worth of D'Addario strings or 25 quid's worth for your £15 postage. And it's been set up by me, a complete fucking internet mungo. And yeah, my little lad, he's not been little for years. My lad likes this guitar, but I'm not letting him have it because he's an impulsive moose knuckle and he'd keep them all. So I'm going to sell it. Listing's live now. If you want it, then you can. The fingerprints are free. There is no spaff. Oh, and obviously we've got minge discharge on the fretboard. So when you do get it, give it a sniff. I'll see you next week, everyone. Special Wave. Thanks for enduring another 20 minutes of bullshit.